Guess we could just go straight into
the video. And then the screen does it.
Then the screen goes.
And they find us like this in the next screen.
How's it, guys?
What's up, my people?
Welcome back to our channel. My name is Anita.
I'm Kupa.
And
what's up?
Okay, so today, guys, we were supposed to come on here and do episode 3, which was supposed to be
recognizing your possibilities beyond fear.
Yes, but we realized that we didn't have enough points under that to make that an entire episode, so we were like, okay, let's just like mesh this into the conclusion and just make this the season
finale. Just be excited.
Be happy. Be happy. It's come to an end. So
I think it sounds so morbid though. She said it's coming to an end.
No, because people are intimidated by genuine chats. So for those people who are intimidated, it's come to an end. You don't have to stress. Now we're gonna go back to tomfoolery on the channel. So the first point is recognizing your possibilities beyond fear. Fear hinders you in a lot of aspects of your life. Like if you're going to be scared of external like judgment or, you know, rejection of some sort, it's going to limit you in what you know, like pursue. You get what I mean? If you feel like you've got like a niche for something, right, but you don't pursue it just because you're like, okay, I've never done this before, what are people gonna think, like, you know, just those sort of things. Like you start thinking to yourself, maybe I'm not good enough. That's fear getting to your head. So if you can fight fear and be like, listen,
square up.
If you think about it, fear is your biggest enemy of progress. Just sit down and think to yourself, right? If I wasn't scared, what would I be achieving right now? Because it's a lot. It is a lot, bruh. You are capable of a lot.
And I mean, it's easier said than done,
it really
obviously.
Is easier said than
but
done.
I mean, you could always try.
Yeah, I feel like everything that we've said, almost everything we've said in the series is easier said than done. But if you can just bring yourself to try, if you can tell yourself, I'm bigger than this, you're already like one step closer to growth. Or in fact, you're already growing. You're growing.
Bet next point.
Mm-hmm. In correlation with that, basically, the way we were talking about not letting external judgment, you know, or perception get to your head, also you need to, this goes back to what we said in the second episode, if you watch the second episode, about having the final decision be your decision, right? You need to not take heed of external pressures as much, you know what I mean?
These external pressures could come in the form of basically anything. It could be schoolwork, it could be your parents, it could be I don't have any more examples, but basically external pressures are anything that make you doubt the decision that you want to make or make you feel
uncertain almost.
Yeah, uncertain, yeah.
Things from the outside just genuinely stress you out. Like school stresses you out, or you know, your home situation stresses you out, or your friends stress you out. Like just a lot of external pressures where you see, like let's say, okay, you happen to be in a friend group where you're in a different tax bracket as most of your friends, and now you're feeling pressured because your friends have a lot of things that you don't have,
or you have a lot of things that your friends don't have.
Exactly. Yeah, I just feel like don't take a lot of external factors into like to heart too much, because they will pressure you and they will make you feel like your current situation is hectic. We've basically already touched on this, but reiteration is always important.
So I think it's just for your general health, honestly. Because if you keep everything in, if you keep piling things on the inside of you, you become stressed, you become like you seclude yourself from everyone else without even noticing, because you're trying to keep everything in and trying to act like everything's okay and everything's fine. But there's an underlying thing that will burst one day.
Rather address situations when they're happening, you know? And also with the whole speaking up, you know, voicing your opinion, talking about your feelings or whatever, being able to have engaging conversations with people about how you feel so that they can understand how you feel. Which brings us to our next point. You. All I'm going to say is people aren't going to know how you're feeling unless you tell them.
Unless you tell
We
them, people
can't-
won't guess.
We cannot smell at oh Mukupa is sad. We can't until Kupa says, "Listen, guys,
I'm
really
not
don't
okay.
feel comfortable with what just happened." People are going to sit and think
And everything all comes together to the point where you won't be able to deal with it anymore because you're stuck in your head.
Exactly, because people have a different like. It might not make sense, but let me just put it like this: people have like different immunity levels to like humor or like jokes or like not even just that aspect, but I'm just going to use that as an example. So if you're going to constantly make a joke with a person thinking, oh, she's on the same level as me, like
Because
she
she
can take
laughs.
a joke the way I take a joke, you know, sometimes my humor is a bit condescending but she gets it, you know. Meantime, ma'am is literally breaking down inside by the things that you're saying to her. You won't know unless ma'am tells you. So
Because
if ma'am
you
is-
carry on doing whatever you're
Exactly,
doing.
because you're thinking, listen, we all just have condescending humor here. It's a fun time, bruh. You know, it might be genuinely hurting someone, you know, and also that comes into play where you have to like consider other people's feelings as well. As much as you're going to voice your own, you have to take into consideration that there's always two parts of a story, or 3 or 4. There's more than one part of the story, you know.
So you need to be able to understand that, oh, maybe I've taken it far.
Maybe I should just take it back a little bit.
So the next point that we want to address ties into the last point that we spoke about. And it's about how you might be going through a situation that is similar or the same to someone else's situation, and you voicing that might just,
You know, give them strength or empower them to talk about their situation as well.
yeah.
So this next point, we're not trying to offend anyone, but basically what we're saying is the world is evolving and there's different things, and there's like a generational gap. So obviously sometimes parents wouldn't understand where kids are coming from, and kids wouldn't understand where parents are coming from, just because we've learned things differently, right? So if I have been struggling in math my entire life,
And you've seen my report
You've
cards,
seen my report cards.
you know.
They've come back and it's just bad. I stay up in the late hours of the night trying to push myself for math and everything, but it's just not working.
It's not happening.
You know, you see that it's not working, but you're going to tell me, oh no, study accounting. Essentially what you're doing is you're investing in your child's misery, because if you know that they struggle with that particular thing and you're going to tell them to do that particular thing for the rest of their life, it's like,
it doesn't help anyone.
you know. Because I feel like, I don't know if this is just a personal opinion, but I feel like when you are looking towards careers or whatever, seeing what you want to do for the rest of your life, it should be something that you love, so that it doesn't feel as much as work, you know? It feels like a hobby almost. So having engaging conversations with your parents like that is important to make them try and understand where you're coming from. You get? Yeah.
And also not having conversations with your parents about things that really matter to you or things that affect you personally can create disconnects between you and them.
And already there's like foundational disconnect between parents and kids just because there's a generational gap. So sometimes in certain aspects you won't understand each other. So that's already a foundational disconnect. So if you're going to build the disconnect on top of that, it's just
by not talking to each other.
Yeah, it's just very damaging. So just try and have engaging conversations with your parents, with your guardians, with, you know, people who you feel are in a model position to you.
Okay, and the last thing that we're going to say in relation to parents, guardians, and the likes, things like
Therapy,
things,
depression,
mental health issues,
mental
basically
health issues in general.
It's like we veer away from talking about that as Africans because we think that it doesn't happen to us,
Like
or
it doesn't apply.
it doesn't apply, but it does.
It genuinely does. I feel like it's I say this a lot, but it's damaging, guys. It's so damaging to think that you're exempt from something as, you know, heavy as mental health, you know? Because people go through stuff. People really do go through stuff. And people suffer in silence. And that's the worst type of suffering. Let's establish the fact that sometimes people smile through the pain. It sounds cliche, but it's true. Some people genuinely are hurting. So small things really, really affect people. So when you meet someone, just try and have an open mind to the fact that maybe there's more to that person. Take into consideration that people might be going through things, and it's okay to like feel like you have a mental issue that needs to be addressed.
Normalize talking about it.
Yeah.
We need to normalize talking. Full
In
stop.
general, communication, it's really important, guys. If you yourself don't have the strength to do it, draw strength from other people.
Yeah.
Ask your parents, maybe you need to go to therapy. It's fine. It's really not something to be looked down upon or frowned upon, you know. It's just, if you need it, you need it at the end of the day. So yeah, normalize conversations about mental health and just conversations in general, because we don't have enough of those apparently.
Okay, so the last thing that we're going to touch on is Anita's literal favorite thing to talk about these days. She cannot stop talking about it.
It's important.
And I know it's important, but anyway, she's been reading this book and now she feels like a philosopher.
It's not because of the book though.
So the next thing we're going to be talking about is manifestations, affirmations. She's just annoying though, that's the only thing.
Grab your pens, kids. I'm about to give you some wisdom. Okay, so basically, guys, what I'm about to chat about is manifestations, auto-suggestions, affirmations, all those good things. Yes. Okay, so basically what manifestation is realizing the desires of your life by manifesting them. Okay, so I'm just going to elaborate on that a bit, just so that...
Because in English,
it makes sense.
Didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything. So basically what that is if I am constantly going to... I'm just going to tie in manifestation with auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion is just basically making suggestions to your mind that you want to realize in life, in your actual life, you know? So what it is that your subconscious mind is very powerful. So it takes in everything that you think, everything that you say, and it realizes it. It brings things into play. We back. I think I look
I'm washed out.
Press and yes. Just a bit, honey. Your subconscious mind is very receptive to suggestion. That's external suggestion, internal suggestion from yourself, you know. It's receptive to all of that. So if you're going to suggest to yourself, bruh, like I'm broke, bruh, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not this and that and that and that and that, your subconscious mind is going to put that into play and it's going to make a physical manifestation of that. If you constantly tell yourself positive things, if you start saying stuff like I am wealthy, I am stunning, I am wise, I am kind-hearted, I'm patient, you're going to start to be a physical embodiment of all of those things. Also, suggestion is very important. What you're feeding yourself comes to play in real life, and what you're going to let affect you as well. So if Cooper starts suggesting to me, Anita, I don't think it makes sense for you to be dreaming as big as going to the UK to become a big fashion designer, you know, and I let that get to me, then I'll never get there. That will never be a reality for me. But if I'm like, listen, you can keep your opinion, I will be that designer and you will see me on billboards and it will be a fun time for me, and we'll see how you swallow your saliva. So it's about how strong your mental state is, how strong you are in your beliefs, and how much faith you have in yourself. You should have faith in yourself. Guys, you're capable of so much. It's not even funny. You alone are capable of...
Wow. The more you believe in yourself and the more you believe what you're telling yourself, everything, and Anita has told me this, and I've learned, everything in the universe is going to align to make what you're saying work out. Whether you have to align it yourself, you physically say, okay, or just...
It falls into place.
And we're not saying, no, so you just say, I want to be a designer.
And then you sit on your bed like this for decoration and think design will design itself.
You are playing yourself. You're lying.
Seriously, just start making positive affirmations for yourself and tell me. If it doesn't work, it's not going to kill you. But come back to me. You'll tell me. So basically, guys, we've come to the end of the series. It's been a blast. We really liked talking to you guys. Thank you for those of you who engaged with us, those of you who came and showed your appreciation for the series, those of you who asked questions. Did I say those of you?
Yeah.
It's fine, also Hugh. And also those of you who watched and who are subscribed to our channel, guys, you guys are amazing.
I don't think you guys
Honestly,
understand. Wow. Relax.
I feel like it's overwhelming. Like, I don't understand when YouTubers get to the point where they're like, oh yeah, I got more subscribers. Me, I see 1+1 and I'm like, oh, you must
guys.
be joking. You must be joking. Because you guys are just supportive and it's crazy and it's nice. No, honestly, thank you for watching the series. We hope that it made a difference in your life, or at least that you consider some of the things that we've said.
We hope you understand. We hope you've learned. And we really want to learn from you guys. Tell us your opinions.
Exactly.
Tell us what you think about what we've said.
Educate us. We really want to learn from you
because
guys. If
we
there's
really
more
don't
that you
know
can
the
tell
most.
us, we really know the least. You're almost the least.
This, we're saying again, is based off of our opinion and what we've learned and what we've heard and what we've read.
Everything. You know, we haven't been alive long enough to say that we know it all. What we're saying is just educate us.
So make sure you guys like the video.
Don't forget to comment if you have anything to say or share or want to talk about.
Subscribe.
Oh, subscribe. And definitely please share, show some love. Just
if you guys want to be nice.
Your friend, your neighbor, just
your mother and your father.
Door.
Remember, this is why we spoke to them. So just show them also
just show
if you
them
want.
the video. Just be like,
if you're scared, just... No, I'm kidding, but
pick up the stone, knock on your neighbors. I've never understood that.
Taking the stone and knocking on the gate
because your knuckles work.
They'll make a louder sound, but we go with the stones.
Zambia is just an amazing place.
Zambia is interesting.
Pick up the stone, knock on your neighbor's gate, and tell them, listen.
Have you
These
seen?
girls go and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed and see you in the next one. Bye.